D-D-Y-M-A-M-O-D-Y-M-A-M-O. Welcome into the mighty show, the wonderful world of dynamo. Like dynamite is keen to blow with magic you never seen before. And this one's called Dynamo's State of Mind. David, you need to make some way. This kid's becoming a major name. He came all the way from Bradford, sitting on top of a train. This brain's insane. Are you ready for Dynamo's State of Mind?
What do you think of these trainers?
They're pretty bad boy, man.
They're quite cool, isn't it? Like, but the only thing I'm thinking is like, you know how you get some people like change the laces and stuff? Either the white laces, yeah? Or the purple ones. Oh! Which ones would look better, do you know?
1 second he was wearing white laces, just kicked his foot, and then it was purple. It's pretty crazy.
You actually just wear like...
Time to go to work.
What's it? Maybe you should have purple ones instead, you know?
Do that again. Paul Daniels, I'm sorry mate. It's time to check yourself straight into the old people's home. New generation.
What up? I'm Dynamo. I want to thank you for picking up the Culture and Shoelace DVD. Before I teach you how to make the gimmick and how to perform the effect, I want to give you a quick history on how we came up with the idea. Now, in 2006 I was approached by Adidas and asked to create 3 small adverts doing magic effects using their new ZX sneaker or trainer. It's this one right here. The Culture and Shoelace was one of the effects that we came up with. Now, it's kind of funny how we came up with this idea because it was actually a non-magician, my manager Dan Albion, who had the idea for the gimmick that I'm going to teach you how to make. And when he said the idea to me, I kind of didn't think it would work, to be honest. But we talked about it to Angelo Carboni, who is a genius, by the way, but he was a consultant for the Adidas adverts. And the next day, he came back with a prototype of the gimmick. So, after messing about with the gimmick for about 3 hours, I came up with a presentation and handling, which I'm about to teach you. And this actually became one of my favourite effects to perform, and hopefully it can become one of yours. So yeah, that's the quick history of the Culture and Shoelace. Before I teach you how to make your own gimmick, I just thought I'd start by showing you the actual gimmick we used in the advert. You're actually looking at it right now. Can you see it? Get a closer look. The actual gimmick is a shell that goes over your laces, which is on the pull, which is right here. Let's get a closer look at the gimmick. See that? Held together by a wire to help it keep shape. Clips under the bottom lace, and there's a piece of wire here that clips over the tongue. This was the original gimmick that Angelo made, and then now let's teach you how to make your own. To perform and make the gimmick bonus effect, you're going to require quite a few things. First off, you need 2 pairs of matching trainers. The trainers you get are very important for the effect to work. You need to get trainers where, get close up on this, the laces, the part where the holes and the laces are attached to the trainer is one separate piece. So that what you're going to do is actually cut this part of the trainer off and also the tongue to create a shell. Also going to need to get some very strong tape. This is power grip. A very sharp Stanley knife or craft knife. A roll of thin metal. Some pliers that you can use to cut the metal. Super glue. And also, when you buy the trainers, you need to buy a pair of extra laces, but make sure the laces are a different colour than the laces that come with the trainers. So I've got some purple laces and trainers come with white laces. Once you've got everything, we're ready to make the gimmick. When I perform the effect, I use the left trainer. So to make the gimmick in the left trainer, the first thing you need to do is start by getting the left trainer and removing the laces. So you get rid of the laces, then you're going to get the craft knife. I'll come close up to this, and you're going to basically cut around the section where the laces were threaded. You see right here, you're going to cut underneath there. Actually cut under, you need to cut so you cut the stitching, because you can see this is actually all one piece. You see I've started cutting the lace, and the reason I say you get these trainers is because they're perfect, because this part is stitched separately onto a trainer, so it's perfect for making the gimmick. You're going to cut that all the way around. Because you're cutting the stitching, the tongue will also come loose on the trainer. I have one down here that I did earlier. See where I've cut off the stitching there, and then now left with the tongue and the part where the laces go. And you can already see a gimmick coming into shape right there. The next thing you need to do is the tongue, you see, is quite thick because it's got a lot of padding. So you're going to actually remove all the padding off the back, so you're just left with the top layer. To remove the padding from the tongue, you start by getting a craft knife and you basically cut into the stitching area. You see I've started to cut here. It's all stitched on here, and eventually so you can actually peel it off. Just to cut where the stitch is. So you should end up with a tongue which is really thin, as thin as possible. I've actually taken off all the padding from the back. I've left a little bit up behind the actual Adidas logo, just near the top, just to keep it so to keep shape. Now what you need to do is take the holes, and you're going to have to actually lace up the holes and then glue them down onto the tongue, like so. I found that when lacing the trainer, it's good to actually lace it through the hole that you'll find in the tongue. When it comes to gluing down this part of your gimmick, you actually have a natural guideline because the lace is already laced up essentially. So you are kind of halfway to making your gimmick. You should now be looking at a gimmick like this. What you've done is you've glued the lace holes section to the tongue, which you've stripped to make really thin. So you've almost got what represents a shell of your laces on your trainers. There's not much left to do. You just simply have to add some wire to the back so it can hold a bit of shape. I'm going to use your tape to do that. So what I've done here is I've taken 3 pieces of wire like this, one there, one there, and one there, and cover them with black tape, hold it in place. What this allows you to do is bend your gimmick, and because the wire is there, it will actually hold its shape. It gives you more of a curved feel, which obviously makes it look like your foot is in the trainer. Looks like this is actually part of the trainer. And then what you're going to need to do is make a hook, which like hooks over the top. It hooks over the other tongue, holding this in place. And how this is done is you get a piece of the wire, fold it in half, and then kind of twist it and fold it back, so you have kind of like a hook, like so. And then you're going to actually tape it down just behind the actual logo part of the tongue. Just behind the top. You don't want it to go too far because obviously they will see it. You want it to be just below, like so. Once you've attached your top hoop, like so, you're also going to make one for the bottom. It's going to go right here, which will actually slide into one of the laces on the laces underneath the gimmick, kind of holding it in place at the bottom. So it's done like so. You take a piece of the wire, twist it like this, giving you this, and then you will tape it to this section, leaving it sticking up a little bit. See that? Once you've attached the bottom hoop, you essentially have the gimmick. Gimmick's ready to go. All that's left to do now is to attach the pull. Now you're thinking, what do you use as a pull? It's quite simple really. You need to remove the lace from the matching trainer for the left foot, because it's from the left trainer. So remove the left lace and you're going to use that as your pull, because you're going to replace that lace with a different colour lace in the actual trainer. So you just attach it to this hoop. Right here. What I've actually done is I've attached a bit of tape up near the lace just to kind of hold it in position. So it's right in the centre. So there you have it. You've now made a shell gimmick. All that's left to do now is to prepare the other trainer. That's quite simple. All you need to do is take whichever colour lace it is you want, make sure it's a different colour from your gimmick, and just lace it up like so. So once you've made your gimmick, it's time to set it up so you can go out and perform it. So what you're going to do is you're going to, the shoelace that you attached to for your pull, you're going to thread up your left jean leg, and you're going to swing it round to the back and attach a pencil to the end so you've got something to pull onto. See that? That actually goes right down through to your leg. You can actually see it right there. Now when performing this effect, a little tip is to wear white socks so that the shoelace actually blends in. Whereas I ain't got any white socks on the moment, but when you actually perform it, I advise that you wear white socks. So then you take your gimmick and the first loop of wire goes over the tongue. I'll show you this. First loop of wire goes over the tongue, and the bottom loop goes under the bottom lace. This kind of holds it in place. And then you might want to tuck them, if there's any purple laces showing, you might want to tuck them underneath. You kind of press the gimmick so it's kind of round your shoe. The jeans I recommend are going to be quite baggy at the bottom because this gimmick is going to have to go up the jean. But yeah, it's good to get long jeans and then fold them over because it kind of gives you like a natural sleeve. So, and the good thing is when you have baggy jeans, it also provides a bit of weight which kind of holds the gimmick in place. When you actually perform the effect, all you need to do is simply take your right hand, lift up your trouser leg or your jeans leg, kind of making an opening, and you might want to give it a shake just to open it fully. That's kind of perfect right there, because if I was to, when I pull this backwards, I'll do this slowly. If I pull this backwards, you see the gimmick goes up the trouser leg, revealing the laces. Then if you give a quick shake down, you can kind of throw the jeans back down. It's a quick effect. There's the visual effect. And then what I'll do is I'll lift this up and sit, I'll kind of just go, shut it around like this. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm taking the pencil, stick it into my back pocket, which kind of holds the gimmick up your leg, so that you can kind of just drop that and you don't have to worry about the gimmick falling back down.